How's it going, guys? I'm Jordan. I am the Well Youth lead here at Wellspring. Just going to tell you a little bit about my story. I grew up in a really good cookie cutter family, going to church every Sunday, always memory verses, all that stuff. And my whole life I always kind of said, you know, like, this stuff's nice. I like God. God's cool, but like, I'll save that stuff for later because I'm going to do me now. That was middle school, high school, most of college. I get to college and a lot of the decisions that I had made over my life started to hurt me, started to bring me pain and people around me pain, people that I cared about that I couldn't treat the way that I wanted to, or I had lied to in the past that they find out about, or things like this. I started seeing these relationships that were broken, and I started just seeing this path that I was going down. I look back and I remember one specific night where the furthest I'd ever been from God in this specific night, and I remember thinking of all the things that had brought me temporary happiness, all the things that had brought me joy in my life, and I went to turn to them in my worst moment, and none of them were there in my darkest hour, and God was the only thing I had to turn to. And luckily I had had this knowledge of all these things my entire life growing up, of God, of all the things that God can do for me, but I just kept putting it off. And this was the moment that I decided, like, okay, like, you know what, maybe I will try this God thing. There's nothing else that can save me. There's power in the one that can save me. And that day I decided that I was going to start living my life a little bit differently, and God really laid down the foundation for me and the path for me of what He wanted from me, and the way that He wanted me to move forward. But I was still resistant. I still loved a lot of things in my life that I shouldn't have. I still wanted to get to His final point, but I wanted to do it my way, and that continued to cause friction between us. There was no peace in it. When God was saying go left and I was going right, and I was like, hey, I'll meet you around the end, like, I'll get there eventually, but going my own way did not give me peace. And it wasn't until 8 months later where I finally surrendered to God and finally said, you know what, God, fine, like, I'll do the things that you're asking for me. I'll do the things that I know you want me to do. And there was more peace and freedom and surrender than I had ever experienced in my entire life. There was more peace after that, where He was able to turn my life around and show me how He's now going to use my past for His glory, how He's going to use all these things in my life. He said, I'm not only going to redeem you, but I'm going to use it for my glory now. And there's peace in being in the palm of His hands and in the center of where He wants you.